Hey guys, I'm gonna make a short video. As you can tell from the title, this one is a lot different from any of my previous videos because I am now beginning a new journey in my life. I have made the decision to become an over-the-road trucker, and the route I am going, because I do not have my CDL currently, is through Prime Incorporated's training program. I just want to kind of make a quick video just kind of covering what to expect leading up to orientation and what to expect after orientation. So hopefully I can answer some basic questions. Like I said, I want to make this one short. If you end up having any questions, comments, or anything like that, I will be reading all the comments, if any, and getting back and answering them as much as I can. If there's enough interest in a certain area, I will make a separate video for those as well. And if after this you are thinking about doing the program, or you are about to do the program, you've already made up your mind, I will have my driver referral code in the bottom. So look for that. Please use it, because when you refer someone, you get bonuses, and we all like money. And so anyways, like I said, I'm going with Prime. I've had some family members do Prime. I've had some family members do other companies that were not Prime. Do your research on the companies first and go with what you feel is going to be best for your situation. Prime's training program can take anywhere between 4 to 6 months to complete. Sounds like a long process. It is, but they pack you full of knowledge. And it sounds like someone's trying to break into my hotel. Anyways, the stages to it are obviously the pre-orientation stage, where you're doing all your DOT physicals, your drug tests, you're getting your CDL permit, and just preparing to go into it. Second phase is the orientation, lasts about 5 days, 4 to 5 days, and then you start your Psd phase, which can be 2 parts. It could be Psd at the terminal, or it can be Psd over the road. And then after your Psd, you test for your CDL, and then you start your Tnt Phase, which is doing 30,000 miles with a TNT trainer, learning the ins and the outs of the trucking industry. The Tnt Phase is probably the longer phase. It can be 2 to 3 months, depending on how hard your trainer wants to run, because you can, in theory, literally push that truck 24/7. So it can be crazy, and it's not for everybody. I've seen people drop out of the program. I've seen people fail out of the program. But anyways, let's get started with the beginning, leading up to it. Like I said, and if you do it right, Prime almost covers the cost of everything through the training phase. They can set you up with a DOT physical, and they'll pay for it, or you can go get it on your own. I was in a rush. They couldn't get me in for a while, so I found a doctor that could do it, and I paid out of pocket. It cost about $160. Once you have your DOT physical, you go to your driver's license division in your state, and you take the written test for your CDL. Prime requires 4 things, obviously Class A, but the 4 things are your combination, your general knowledge, your air brakes, and your tanker. Even if you're not going to drive tanker, I was told that Prime requires you to have tanker, because a lot of their loads are liquid loads, and once you get to a certain point of liquid, you have to have your tanker endorsement. That's what I'm told. I didn't do any research into it. I just said, okay. It was a 25-question quiz at the driver's license division, and it's easy. It's just more endorsements on your license, which never hurts anybody. And then after that, you let your recruiter know. And this whole time you're talking with a recruiter to just make sure everything goes smoothly and to get all the ducks in a row. But your examiner, not your examiner, wow, your recruiter, it's been a long day. Your recruiter will set you up with a DOT drug test. Very simple. Be clean. Don't Don't be stupid. Okay, in the trucking industry, drugs and alcohol will destroy your career. But then you go do your drug test, and then once that's all said and done, you've turned in all necessary documents, your recruiter will set you up for a orientation. Orientation can be in Salt Lake Terminal in Utah. It could be in Missouri. I think there's one other one. I can't remember where it is. I'm in Utah, so I obviously chose the Salt Lake Terminal because I'm about an hour and a half, depending on traffic, to my house. If you're coming from out of state, they will cover the cost of the train, the Greyhound bus. Depending on the cost, sometimes your airline ticket if you prefer to fly. If you have to Uber to the hotel, they'll cover the cost of that. I drove my personal vehicle. They reimbursed my gas. They just really smooth. You take a picture of your receipts, send them to your recruiter, and you get reimbursed. It's as simple as that. During your orientation, you are in a hotel. They stuck us in the Ramada Hotel up in near Salt Lake, and it's all covered. They technically give you 3 meals during orientation, your breakfast, lunch, and dinner, but breakfast is served at the hotel. It's just the hotel's continental breakfast. And then for lunch and dinner, you get little coupons for like $8.50, which can buy you a decent amount of food from their cafeteria. Their cafeteria is full grill, so you can get burgers. They even have a steak. They got chicken products. They got fried items. They got a salad bar. They got soda fountain machines. Lots of like canned sodas, juices, punches, energy drinks. They got everything you would need to eat. If you have your own personal vehicle, you can leave the property and go eat wherever you want. But like I said, during orientation, it's given to you for free. Eat their food. You'll gain some weight. I gained like 10 pounds during my orientation phase. But after orientation, the hotel still gives you your free breakfast, but you're on your own for lunch and dinner. During orientation, it's a lot of lectures. First day or two, you're in a classroom and you just listen to an instructor just tell you about the company, about what to expect, what you're going to be doing, and yada, yada, yada. And then after that, you go to a computer lab and you do a day or two of computer classes, which is boring. I'm doing flatbed. I had 55 videos that I had to watch, and they're boring, really outdated, but they require you to watch them. And then once you are done with those, you wait to be called you wait to be let known that you have cleared. If you have cleared, it means your drug test came back clean and you've done all necessary documentations, and they've accepted your they have completed your background on you, and they are letting you know that they are ready to proceed to the next step, which is your Psd phase. Not really sure what Psd stands for, but someone told me it was like prime student driver, which would make sense. Anyways, you get a fancy little name badge, a green one, so everyone knows that you're a student. Once you're an employee, you get a purple one, and then they give you your high visibility vest that is required anytime you are out on the driving pad. But your Psd phase starts with simulation. You do a couple days in the simulation lab, just kind of learning basic understanding of how to drive a semi. And then you go out to what I called the driving pad. I forgot to mention there are 2 ways you can do Psd. You can do in-house on the pad, or you can do over the road. Those who stay in-house, you stay in your hotel and you just keep showing up every day at the times they tell you, and you go out and you drive and do the maneuvers on their driving range. And occasionally you'll get picked to go out and drive around the town. Utah requires 6 hours of driving before, like driving on the roads, before you can get your CDL. So Then over the road, you hop in with a Psd trainer and you drive with them for a couple weeks, and you get your hours that way, you get your training that way, and they teach you the maneuvers out on the road. But no matter which route you get picked for, it all ends at the same. You end up at one of the terminals with a DOT certified examiner who gives you the final examination on driving skills and general knowledge of the vehicle, and some city driving. And then, yeah. And who gets picked for which? They say there's a process to it. I think it's random. Sorry, for some reason Siri went off. I think it's random. But during the computer phase of orientation, you fill out a weird questionnaire thing that's supposed to pair you up with a trainer, and if you match with a trainer, you go out with them. If you don't match, you stay on the pad. About half my group went with a trainer, and the other half were still in-house. It doesn't, like I said, I think it's random because I saw some of the trainers matched up with some people that I don't think they matched at all. But anyways, once you get your CDL, you finish the Psd phase, you get your CDL. At that point, you can jump for joy because that means you've essentially completed everything you need to get out of being a student. You'll still do what's called a Tnt phase, but at that point you are a prime employee. You get a guaranteed $900 a week while you are in that phase, but you go out with a Tnt trainer for 30,000 miles. That can take anywhere between 2 to 3 months depending on how hard your trainer runs. Once you have completed your 30,000 miles, you are now eligible for upgrade. With upgrade, again, you have two options. You can go company and get paid cents per mile, or you can go lease operator. I'm leaning more towards lease operator because the potential to make more is there. There is a lot of cons to it, but there are a lot of pros. Same with company. My biggest reason for wanting to go lease is the potential for income. Because with company, you can only drive a certain amount of miles per week, which means you only can make a certain amount of money. With lease, you decide what loads you want, you decide where you want to go, when you want to go. If you want days off, you take your days off. If you want whatever, but you get paid a percentage of the revenue off that load. Flatbed, which is the route I'm going, is 72% of the revenue. Most of the lease operators I've talked to say they're averaging about $2,500 take-home pay a week, and that's after your truck payment, after all expenses and deductions are taken out. That is what you take home, and that's what you get to keep. Prime makes it super simple because they do all that stuff for you, and they print out a sheet with your pay stub saying this is what you paid for, this is your truck payment, the cost of your fuel, here's your repairs, yada yada yada. It's super simple. But like I said, with company, I need more than what they can make, because I did the math at one point, and the average flatbed I was talking to was doing about 2,500 miles a week at, that is not right. So 2,500 miles a week at flatbed rate of 50 cents a mile. Before taxes, you're at $1,200. After taxes, you're probably closer to $9,000, and that's not enough for me. And if I have the potential to make $2,500 a week, I'm gonna go that route because I'm greedy. I like money. But do your research, figure out which one you want to do. If you want to know more about why I want to do lease and the research I have done, leave a comment below. I can make a whole nother video on that alone. As I said at the beginning of the video, this is just a quick introduction. I will do another one on what to do to prepare for leaving and heading to orientation. Your recruiter does a good job, but they skip over a lot. So I'm going to make another video just about what to pack. like I said, driver code is in the description of the video. If you are thinking about doing it, or you are even considering just calling a recruiter to ask questions, use my referral code. It does give me a little bit of a bonus. Like I said, I like money, and why not get, if I can, or if you're applying, use that driver code. It would mean the world to me, because it'll buy me some more food, and I like food. So yeah, I'm gonna let you guys go for this one, and I will see you in the next video. See ya.